Start here, Star Citizen, a quick tutorial to Star Citizen Alpha 3.7 for the new backer and veteran alike. Time codes can be found below, so you can skip to whatever you need. Getting in the game, make an account on the RSI website via the link below to gain some UEC, the in-game currency, for free. You'll then want a gamer package. You only need a starter ship. I recommend the Mustang Alpha Starter Pack, $45, bam. This includes a game package, which is what you need to play, and a ship, and you can always upgrade this later if you really want, but you can buy or rent almost everything in-game. Download the launcher and install the game. I recommend putting that on an SSD, run it, and then click Universe. Then spend some time to create a character. You can re-customize your character later here too. Then click Stanton System to join the persistent universe. You can join friends or jump into a random server from here. Basic controls. So you're going to wake up in a bed at Port Olisar, a station next to the gas giant Crusader. You can just move forward to get out of bed. Hold F to interact with things though, and then left click the option you want when you're looking at the object that you want to interact with. You might have multiple options. This will operate to objects basically. Tapping F will do a quick action on the object, which could be like sit in a seat or open a door. Mouse wheel will let you change your character's movement speed as well. Shift will run. You'll want to spawn a ship. You do this from ASOP or ship spawn terminals in hubs and spaceports. In Port Olisar, there is a central room. You go there, interact with the console with F, choose the ship you want, and then spawn it. It will tell you where your ship has spawned. Use the signs and HUD markers to find your ship. Now, from that screen as well, you can also reclaim your ship if it's at a different sort of outpost, or if it's been destroyed or lost, and then you have to wait a certain amount of time, which you can pay to expedite if you wish with in-game currency, and then you can spawn your ship again. Also, please note that you can press Y at any time to leave a seat or a station that you are at. So if you're interacting with a chair, if you're interacting with a seat that you want to get out of, or a station or a console or something, press Y, that will get you out of it. Also, if you're in a single-seater ship, that might get you out of the cockpit entirely and into space. So it's a very quick way of getting out and leaving your seat. Y is your friend. Anyway, find your ship, enter on the port or left side of your ship, go up to where the cockpit is, hold F, and then you should be able to interact with the ladder or interaction point there that will glow for you. Get in the cockpit. Certain ships, different ships will have different interaction points and different entry points. When you're sitting in the pilot chair, press R, that will flight ready your ship. Wait a couple of seconds for your ship to power up. Space will take you up, control will go down, W will increase forward thrust, and A, S, and D will all increase thrust in those directions. Releasing, a W, A, S, or D will then bring your ship to a halt. Q and E allow you to roll. You can adjust your maximum speed or your velocity control with your mouse wheel, which is shown on the left of your central HUD. Going above the white gauge and into the red means that you are going faster than your SCM speed, which basically means you lose agility and maneuverability. When you're dogfighting or when you're doing maneuvers, you want to bring it down to at least the white gauge. You can bring it down lower than that if you wish, anywhere in there. Right Alt and mouse wheel will adjust the power of your thrusters and therefore is an acceleration control. C toggles cruise control and basically tries to keep your ship's speed constant to whatever you've got your velocity control set to, and it will also show an arrow next to the velocity gauge there to show that you've got cruise control mode on. Turn cruise control off when you are trying to land. That's very important. V toggles decoupled movement. X is space brake. Shift is afterburner. Holding F will allow you to interact with MFD's multifunction displays in your ship, where you can also change the power or overclock your shields and systems. You can also press the buttons like flight readying your ship via this method too. You can press F1 while you're on foot or in your ship to open your Mobiglass. It's the diegetic interface by which you manage your character and interact with the world. There are various focused apps at the bottom. The Star Map app will allow you to set waypoints and see where a mission's waypoint is. You can use the mouse wheel to scroll in and out, double click on a location or planetary body to zoom in, double right click to zoom out. You can see locations on a moon or planet if you zoom in close enough and set them as waypoints by clicking set waypoint. These waypoints are quantum travel destinations for your ship. So to quantum travel when you're in your ship, press B after you've set a waypoint. This will spool up your quantum drive. You want to align to the location that you've set your waypoint for. This will show on your radar as a straight line that you can find, but also you'll see it on your HUD. Align there. Once it says spooling and calibration complete, hold B to initiate quantum travel. You may have to travel to locations on the way, like the closest major astral body or an orbital marker. If you're in atmosphere, you might need to get higher in orbit before quantuming as well. Also, you need to have a clear path when you start quantuming, so you might have to maneuver. Also, if for some reason you cannot calibrate your drive to the location you're trying to align to, turn away from the location and then turn back and try again. Quantum interdiction is also a mechanic in-game where NPCs or the RSI Mantis can pull ships out of quantum or prevent them from going into quantum. You'll need to destroy the ship that's interdicting you or get far enough away from it to go back into quantum travel. Sometimes security forces will interdict you to scan you, and trying to run away from them will get you a criminal rating, so just bear that in mind. Just let them scan you and you can continue on your way. Also, there's points of interest that turn up when you're quantum traveling as well. You might get pulled out by an asteroid that's in your way, and there could be pirates around there. Missions are a staple of the game and a good source of the in-game currency, Alpha UEC. You can open the Mobiglass with F1 again and find the Contract Manager tab. You'll find a selection of missions in general, personal, and sometimes beacons. In the beacons section, you can actually create your own mission to have someone pick you up and take you somewhere else, or to come combat assist you. So basically a distress signal saying, oh god, help. Read a mission before you take it. Some require you to have a cargo bay or are more suitable for different ships and group sizes. Typically the ones that require a cargo bay are delivery missions. Missions are available for both criminal and lawful players. Counter missions can be generated, so you'll have PvP sometimes. The list of missions changes based on your reputation, location, and criminality, so keep checking it. There are Easter eggs, hidden locations, and hidden missions too. Some encounters in the game are going to require you to get involved with ship combat. So, firstly, you can cycle your weapon mode by pressing R. So you can go from auto gimbal to manual to fixed. Fixed has all your weapons locked forward towards your nose. You are firing literally where you are pointing. Manual will have you aim your weapons that are gimbaled within a angular cone at the front of your ship, so you can actually have some more movement. They're not locked forwards. Auto gimbal will lock onto targets into a small cone in front of your ship with your gimbaled weapons. A lock is shown when the two dashed circles come together to a single boulder dashed circle. You do require to aim a little bit, but it's reasonably powerful, that auto aim, that auto gimbal. To target a ship, you can press 3 to cycle red enemy targets, 1 will target whatever is under your reticle, and 5 will target and cycle through green friendly targets. Left click fires weapons group 1, right click weapons group 2, middle mouse locks on missile. Holding that middle mouse button when you have a lock will launch the missile. G launches countermeasures, H cycles your countermeasures. Ship weapons and systems can overheat, misfire, as well as degrade, and not work as intended is the idea. They misfire, they break briefly. Some missions will require you to scan. Press tab, hover your mouse cursor over a target and hold left click to scan them to gather more information on them, including information about their cargo. You can hold right click and release as well to send out a scan pulse. Mouse wheel will adjust the focus of the scan, but you don't necessarily need to do that. Signature blobs you detect will appear for a few seconds on your HUD. This could be a mission objective, ship, or other entity. Once you are close enough, you will passively detect that object or ship. Your ship consumes hydrogen fuel, which it also gathers as it travels around the verse, and quantum fuel, but can also get damaged. Missiles and ballistic ammo are limited too. You'll want to periodically reclaim your ship or land at a landing zone or rest stop and use the Mobiglass and vehicle maintenance service apps to rearm, repair and refuel your ship. You'll find rest stops at the CRU, HUR and ARC L1 to 5 areas on the star map. Locations and area restrictions, so landing at a major landing zone, Port Olisar, Grimhex, Levski, Lorville, Area 18, sets it to your spawn when you respawn or log back on or die. You can also land at rest stops around the system too. To land at these zones, you must be proximate to them and request landing permission via the comms section of your mobiGlas and clicking the appropriate contact for landing services there. A marker will appear on your HUD to where you are cleared to land. Make sure you don't have your cruise control on and your SCM speed is not set too high. Press N to deploy your landing gear, and when you are very close to the pad, you can hold N to auto-land. N will also put your landing gear away if you tap it after you've taken off. Your criminal rating affects which of these zones you are allowed to land at. So Port Olisar, Area 18 and Lorville do not like criminals. A criminal rating of up to 3, you can then land at Levski and rest stops still, and Grimhex, and stolen ships are not welcome anywhere except Grimhex by the Moon Yeller, which also will allow anyone to land there regardless of their criminality. There is a law system in the game, and different areas of space have different jurisdictions and different crimes and fines associated with them. You can see what jurisdiction and what crimes are in your mobiGlas and which jurisdiction you're in. Some give you criminal ratings that will stack. This ranges from 0 to 5. So 0 is lawful, 5 is most wanted. Security forces and other players will come after you based on your criminal rating, but you'll have access to different missions as well. To lower your criminal rating, you can hack it down with a hacking chip, which you can purchase at major locations like Grimhex and Levski. Then go to a security depot marked on planetary bodies or Security Post Korea, which is a space station by the Moon Selin, and use your hacking chip on the computer there. You need to equip that into your utility slot and then pull it out with the number 4 before interacting with the actual computer. You may need to interact with the screen on the computer occasionally by holding F and left clicking. Once the hack is complete, you can raise your criminal rating. There may be hostile NPCs at these locations, and players may have missions to stop you. Purchases. So ships can be purchased or rented in-game. There are rental kiosks at spaceports at ArcCorp Area 18 and Hurston Lorville, as well as ship shops in Area 18, Lorville, and at Levski on Delamar. You can purchase ship equipment and weapons to upgrade your ship at various shops, including Dumper's Depot and at Port Olisar. Starter ships have a bonus now of being able to have size 2 gimbals that allows them to use size 1 gimbaled weapons, which is a solid perk, but there is a huge range of gear for your ship that you may want to upgrade. I say may want to upgrade. If you've got a starter ship like the Mustang Alpha, you're going to want to put another 2 weapons on it. It can have 4 weapons. It's only got 2 on by default, so get that as soon as you can and it will double your firepower. For a starter ship, you'll typically have size 1 and sometimes size 2 weapons that you can switch in here. Different ships use different size components and hardpoints for things. You can see what these are and fit new ones in the vehicle loadout manager. You can switch weapons out here. You can change to different systems on your ship and see what hardpoints there are. There is also a player loadout manager as well, which allows you to change your gear on your character, put on different armor, and change attachments on weapons and things like that too. Groups and parties. You can add friends and party members in various ways. So you can add people from the RSI website. You can go into the contacts list on the main menu. You can go into the contacts app by pressing F11 when you're in game, or you can even go into chat and type in /add contact and their handle. You can also directly interact with a character, a player in front of you, and hold F on them and then literally add them to a party or your friends list there. For best results, try and add each other. That is the best way of doing that. The name you want to add is their in-game handle. You can form a party easily from the F11 contacts app. Right click to add to party the person that you want to add. When in a party, you can go into your own voice channel or use global. Pressing numpad plus is the push to talk key for your VoIP. You can adjust your VoIP settings in the options menu and the contacts app in the mobiGlas. Party members can share missions. An accepted mission in the mobiGlas will have a share button when you're in a party. Total payouts are divided between members and they can all track the quest then. You can have party members help crew your ship with their turrets or help manage systems, as well as bring their own ships. Ships can quantum travel together if in a party. If you're close enough together and all aligned at the same location, then the leader can initiate a jump together. Some of the more advanced and additional gameplay loops are cargo hauling. You can buy and sell commodities around the verse from commodity kiosks. There are some items that make a lot of alpha UEC, but maybe some of them are prohibited or illegal in certain areas of space and will be confiscated by security forces if they detect it. Different locations buy and sell different things, and there are kiosks for different types of items. Around planets, moons, and caves, there are harvestables as well now, which you can interact with to put directly into your personal inventory, which is dependent on your armor. You can buy armor with a max flex rucksack attached, which is what I recommend all players get in 3.7, as it allows you to pick up a lot more when you're on a planet's surface or looking for lootables. You can interact with your inventory by pressing tab or holding F and clicking the little dot at the bottom of your HUD. You can sell straight out of your personal inventory at some kiosks, and even drop all the harvestables in your personal inventory into a cargo container as well from your inventory screen. Small mineable nodes appear in the game as well now. You require a multi-tool and ore attachment to mine them. You can buy these at Levski, Area 18 and Lorville under weapons and then attachments respectively. So you need an ore attachment for the multi-tool and then to equip them. You'll have to find ore by sight, equip the multi-tool in your utility slot, and then press 4 to pull it out. Aim down sights to scan an ore node, left click to start mining, and use the mouse wheel to adjust power. You want to get the gauge in the green zone to make it reach maximum. It will sort of like keep ticking up when in the green zone, and you don't want it to be in the red zone, which is above that, for too long, as the rock will explode. You can literally point the beam away from the rock to make quick changes in power or to stop it ticking into the red. If successful, you can then pick up the valuable ore and stow it in your inventory to sell. If you purchase a prospector, you can mine larger minables in that ship. When it sends out a scan pulse, it will detect minables on the ground or in asteroids in space that are potentially available to mine, and will show them on your HUD. Some of these have small nodes attached to them, which again can be mined with the multi-tool and will be lost if you didn't mine with the multi-tool. When you're in the prospector, you can press M to go into mining mode, highlight over the rock that you want to mine. You mine with the mining laser in the same way that you would with the mining tool, but you have to fracture the rock into small enough pieces, and then a purple outline will show around the rock. You then need to use the extraction beam, which you can toggle on by pressing right click and then literally nom up the ore with that extraction beam rather than picking it up with your hands. One of the major things for Star Citizen as well is bug reporting. You can do this on the RSI website under the Development tab and Issue Council. There you can see if your bug has already been discovered and then add to the report for it if it has, or start your own if it's new. You can also use this section to help prioritize bugs as well. There are also feedback threads on Spectrum on the RSI website that allow you to have your say about specific mechanics and balancing for them, which I very, very heartily suggest you get involved with if you want to have your voice heard. Some general tips: atmospheric flights in the game. You can press J to manually toggle compatible ships into VTOL mode. It basically has their thruster orientation rotating so that their VTOL thrusters are pointing downwards. Make sure you are wearing a helmet and undersuit, as you can suffocate when you're in space. You have one on by default, but you can obviously change that in the player loadout, so just be aware of that. Holding backspace will force kill yourself, or if you're in a pilot seat of a ship, will start the self-destruct timer. You can use that to get out of a weird bug that you're in, or just respawn at the last location you visited. You can log out at a ship's bed to save your location there as well, interact with the bed, and then log out. When you are in a landing zone or major location, you can follow the signage to get where you want to go. Use the signs, they are there for you. Also, there's HUD markers typically showing you where your ship is. Go to spaceports to leave an area. You may have to catch a tram or a train. You can set waypoints to major landing zones and lots of outposts as well, but some locations, especially mission locations, some of them will not allow you to quantum travel all the way to. In that case, set a waypoint as close as you can to the nearest outpost, for example. Press C when you're on foot to heal yourself with a Medipen. Medipens can be equipped in the player manager loadout that I showed earlier, and you can purchase Medipens in lots and lots of shops, typically where you can purchase FPS weapons. T is flashlight for both your vehicles and your character. Items like flares require you to put them in your utility slot and pull them out with the 4 button, and then interact with them to activate them, literally by holding F and looking at them. Weapon attachments can be activated by pressing U. There are secret locations, narcotics dens and scrapyards that buy and sell illegal items. Some larger ships have entry points shown as circles on the ground that allow you to call an elevator down from them. I recommend you try finding an organization to join outside of the game, so that when you join the game, you have a group of players to regularly play with. They will teach you. They can get get you involved with events and stuff that they run. I have a variety of orgs that I've played with that I can recommend in my Org Spotlight series, but there's a huge range of orgs, and you will find one that is perfect for you if you look around enough. Also, if you want to know about any more of the complex mechanics and how to do them, there are tutorials and more information linked below. Currently, money, Alpha UBC earned in-game, and purchases made with Alpha UBC are typically reset every major patch. So the next reset is with 3.8 live at the end of 2019. At least that's the expectation. Sometimes they have minor patches which reset as well. However, CIG have said that extremely soon, money earned and in-game purchases, like ships, will persist between patches. If you have any other questions, please chuck them in the comments below. Either myself or someone that is very helpful will answer them, I suspect. Also, you can get involved with my Discord at discord.gg/BoredGamer. You can get me there pretty much any time, and there's helpful people in the community which I rely on, which you are more than also welcome to rely on. There's Spectrum as well, which is CIG's and Star Citizen official forums, and if you are having a technical problem or you want to ask a very specific question quickly, go to support.robertspaceindustriescom. There is a huge knowledge database there that will almost certainly be able to answer any of your questions and technical problems, and, oh, how do I do this, or how do I have a problem with my account, or whatever. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For October, it's an Anvil Carrack Explorer ship that should hopefully be flyable in Alpha 3.8 at the end of the year. Just comment on any of my videos made during October to be in for a chance to win that. I am also shilling for NordVPN and Shadow gaming PCs, so use the code BoredGamer for discounts there. NordVPN, in a world of censorship and privacy issues, VPNs allow you to browse the net and play games in more safety. NordVPN has many benefits over free VPNs, and that's why I shill for it. Some of you also might be interested in Shadow cloud gaming stuff. This allows you an alternative to sort of like buying and maintaining your own gaming PC. You can stream a custom Windows 10 environment to devices like your phone, a laptop, or a crappier, lesser PC, and bam, it's fantastically powerful, and it's maintained, and hardware is regularly updated for you. It's a fantastic service, Shadow. Cloud gaming certainly has quite a big future ahead of it. If you'd like to further support my channel, please consider subscribing, sharing this video, ringing the YouTube bell so you get notifications when a video goes live. This is a channel that is funded by the community via donations, Patreon members, YouTube members, and anyone else that wants to get involved with comments and helping. Thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile. Take care, and I will see you in the verse.